Our John King joins us now on the phone with more on that. John, what do you know?
Not very much, unfortunately, but I was told by a prominent Democratic source in Massachusetts that the 76-year-old Massachusetts senator was rushed from the Kennedy compound in Hyannis, the Cape Cod Hospital, early this morning. And our understanding from sources is that since then, he either has been or is planned to be transferred to Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. We have very few details, but the source who relayed this information to me, who is, again, a very well-informed, prominent Massachusetts Democratic source, said concern was that the senator had symptoms of a stroke when he was rushed to the hospital early this morning from the Kennedy compound in Hyannis. Unfortunately, we have very few details. We have tried to call some of the Senate staff and some Kennedy associates in Washington, and we're trying to get information from the hospital and others in Massachusetts. And most of those we've been able to reach at this hour in Washington were unaware of this dramatic development. But again, we do know he was rushed from the Kennedy compound in Hyannis early this morning to the Cape Cod Hospital, and I am told he either has been or is in the process of being transferred to a hospital, Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. Again, this source saying the senator, who is 76 years old, the liberal lion of the Senate, was apparently suffering symptoms of what appear to be stroke-like symptoms, and that's all we know at the moment.
John King, this story is breaking right now. We want you to stay with us. Obviously, the fact that he might be moving to Mass General in Boston from the Cape Cod Hospital is a sign potentially that this could be very serious. John, stay with us. We're going to get to you right after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We want to update you on the breaking news that we have been following. 76-year-old Massachusetts Senator Ted Kennedy, as John King has been reporting, a liberal lion in Congress, rushed to the hospital in Cape Cod this morning. John King joins us now by phone. John, what do you know?
Elena, all we know is that Senator Kennedy was rushed from the Kennedy compound, the famous Kennedy compound in Hyannis, Massachusetts on Cape Cod, early this morning, sometime in the 8 or 9 o'clock hour this morning, we are told, rushed to the hospital, and our one source relaying this information to us is a closely informed, prominent Democratic source in Massachusetts, says that symptoms of a stroke. Now, we need to be careful with that. We're told symptoms of a stroke. We do not have any information from the hospitals as yet, but Senator Kennedy was taken to Cape Cod Hospital, we are told, and the source says that he has been told that the senator either is being transferred or has been transferred to Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, although our Washington Bureau just touched base with that hospital, and they said they had no information, and that Senator Kennedy at least was not on any public patient list. So we're trying to get more information from that hospital and from Cape Cod Hospital as well. But again, he's 76 years old. Senator Kennedy, youngest of the three Kennedy brothers, obviously prominently involved in Democratic politics. His two older brothers assassinated, and at Cape Cod on the weekend, as he often is. It's the beginning of the spring up there, and he loves to go up and sail and be in the water. And we were told he was rushed to the hospital this morning, and unfortunately we have very little information at the moment.
As you mentioned, a liberal lion of the Senate, the second most senior member of the Senate, John, as you well know. And as you also know, he recently endorsed Senator Barack Obama along with his niece, Caroline Kennedy. Was he expected to get out on the campaign trail? I'm sure that the Obama campaign certainly will be concerned and affected by this. But also, did you know of any health problems in recent years? I know you're a Boston native.
Our Capitol Hill producer, Ted Barrett, just sent me an email. He's helping our reporting this morning. Just sent me an email about how Senator Kennedy was managing legislation on the floor of the Senate just this past week. And he has been very aggressive out on the campaign trail for Senator Obama, not only in his own state's primary up in Massachusetts, which Senator Clinton actually won that primary, but Senator Kennedy was active there, and he flew out to California after that, and he's been very active doing labor organizations in some of the other states. And he has had a great bounce in his step, if you will, and a smile being active in this campaign, saying that he greatly enjoys the energy and the inspiration of Barack Obama, and that he has, found a little spring in his step, if you will, being out during this campaign season. So certainly he has been an active campaigner, and he is someone who is, so closely identified, Alina, with the Democratic Party. But while he has been in the middle and at the head of so many partisan battles in Washington, he also is a man who has deep bipartisan respect in both parties for his work ethic. He is someone who works tirelessly in the Senate, whether it's on the Labor Committee or on the Judiciary Committee. So he has many friends, even among his fierce political critics. value Ted Kennedy's work in the Senate.
A champion of health care and many other issues, really one of only 6 senators in U.S. history to serve more than 40 years. John, I'm not sure if you're getting word of this, but the Cape Cod Times is reporting that Ted Kennedy was put on a medevac helicopter flight on a stretcher, wheeled out around 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. That would be a little more than an hour ago. I know your sources are reporting there have been no arrivals of yet at Mass General Hospital in Boston, but certainly a sign, if he is being transported, that the situation may be very serious, as you've been reporting, showing signs of a stroke, not a stroke, but showing signs of a stroke. So we will continue to watch that story. And I know, John, you will be working your sources very closely, and we'll get back to you later. John, thank you.
One quick thing, if I can, to make clear. If the medevac left at that time, as the newspaper is reporting, he would be at Mass General by now, but it would not be unusual if they had a prominent patient like Senator Kennedy, and especially if he was receiving emergency trauma care or any emergency care, it would be some time before they would publicly acknowledge that. So that would not be inconsistent with him actually being at the hospital and receiving treatment. And the hospital staff, of course, probably may not even be aware that they have Senator Kennedy in the midst, but they obviously haven't been authorized to say he is there.
Most certainly, they'll try to keep that quiet. But as the news comes in, we are learning Senator Ted Kennedy rushed to the hospital. We are following that story. John King is as well. And John, we'll get back to you later. John, thank you.